Back. I think we are recording. Yes, we are recording for a new edition of the podcast. Recording this on Thursday, so I want to make it clear that when we do picks here in a minute, that we are getting the pick in before this Thursday night game. James, I don't know where to start things off. I kind of feel like we got to start with college and the backyard brawl.
Yeah.
I know you're going to hate that, but I feel like we have to.
It's so funny. I mean, I literally watched both of my teams just have the most embarrassing, ridiculous losses ever. It was crazy, man. Like I was just like bopping around my house, talking shit to my girlfriend when we were up 10 in the fourth. I was like, yeah, I mean,
dude,
it's over. And dude,
no, it's not. That's not enough time in college. Or I'm sorry, that's too much time in college.
And what really killed me, with the clock stoppage and everything, and what really killed me is just how many sacks what was his Holstein, I think his last name was, for Pitt, got out of. It was just, and he's a good player. I mean, he had a good game.
He was a top recruit coming out of high school, went to Alabama for a reason.
I was like, damn, man, like just one of those sacks and the game's over, and it didn't happen. And I think
how many times did we get into 2nd and 20? 3rd and 15,
dude,
they pull something out of their ass and
convert. It was 1st and 30, and we were up 10.
Yeah, on that drive.
Yeah.
So I drove to Houston. My friend Chaz, who I think you might have met during our time at WVU, has moved to Houston recently, and I drove down to see him for the Penn State game and for the backyard brawl. And this now makes me 0-3. When I go to Houston to watch the Mountaineers. I'm 0-3 watching us in Houston.
You're fucking
0-4 if you count the game in Houston last year that we lost on the Hail Mary that I was not in attendance for.
I forgot about that game. Oh, my God. Neil Brown had some insane losses, man. He's got to go.
And he said the same thing he did when we went up 10. He said, ball game. I said, no, it's not in college. Like, you need to stop here. And we let him drive right down the field, got into a 1st and 30, like you said. And I honestly did kind of think, like, there's no way they're going to get 30 yards in 3 tries. And sure enough, they do. And then they go down and score. And I just remember saying, oh, no. And my friend Chaz was like, well, we get the ball back. And I said, Neil's going to get ultra conservative here. He's going to run the ball 3 times, and we're going to punt it right back to him. He didn't run the ball 3 straight times. I'm shocked he threw the ball on 3rd down. But I said, they're going to get the ball back. They're going to drive down. They're going to score with about 20 seconds left. And they scored the exact thing I said happened, except with about 30 seconds left.
You could see it happening. It was unfolding exactly the way that
I've seen it happen too many times in college. I'm telling you, I said, if we, on the drive when we went up 10, I said, if we score here with under 5 minutes left, I'll feel pretty good. And we did, actually. We scored with 4:55 left. And I said, okay, I think we're in decent shape. Definitely not ball game, though. And then he goes and said, it's ball game. I'm like, no, it's not. How many times have you watched West Virginia? And you're going to say ball game.
And I think that was the season. I mean, not to be dramatic. I mean, obviously, I still think they're going to go to a bowl game and everything. But, I mean, you got to win that game. When you get crushed like that and you're already 1-2, it's just
1-2. And I don't even think Pitt's that good. But –
they're clearly not.
Got your ass kicked by Penn State, who Bowling Green hung around with.
Yep.
Just not a good look. And I'm done. I've been done with this coaching staff for 3 years.
But now it's
I mean, he almost brought me back last year, but I warned everybody this offseason. You saw me on Twitter, James. How many times did I say?
You did.
I don't buy it. I think last year was a fluke, and I think we overperformed. I think our record was inflated. Pick whatever words you want to use. And I said, there might be a scenario this year where we improve, but the record stays the same. I don't see this team winning 10 games this year. No. And look, believe me, I wish I said I was wrong, but look
they're not going to win 8 games.
I told you so.
They're not going to win 8 games.
No,
so.
They'll be lucky to get to bowl eligibility, and it's time to get rid of the staff. It's been time to get rid of Neil Brown. He has somehow fallen ass backwards into keeping his job the last 3 years. Should have fired him, in my opinion, in 2021. But
I'm just not a football school anymore. I got to come to grips with it.
And I hate watching us.
Yeah, me too.
Like, at least with Dana, we were fun to watch.
Dude, me and my friends have had verbatim this exact conversation.
Like, we are so boring and predictable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I hate watching us.
Yep. And I don't see it getting any better. So Neil Brown's got to go. And I mean, who the hell can we get that's even going to be any good? It just kind of sucks to be a West Virginia fan right now. And there's no end.
I don't know, but it ain't working with this dude.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, as for who, that's a totally different conversation one day. But we're likely going to get there before too soon. All right, so let's go back to the NFL, where I know you didn't have a good week, but at least our teams are good. Where do you want to start? You want to start with your Eagles? You already kind of talked about them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just the loss definitely sucks because it's like I was talking to my friend, and games that you could have won definitely sucks, but games that you should have won are like a billion times worse. And I think there's a big difference there. Like, oh, if this guy, if we converted that third down, we would have won. It's like, no, the game was over and we still lost. You know what I mean? Like, so that definitely sucked.
You had the treatment that I had in week one. Green Bay should have won that game. Philly should have won that game on Monday.
Yep. And, but it wasn't the loss because I don't think Dallas is very good. Obviously, Washington and New York are bad. So it's not that. I mean, I still think they're a playoff team. But it took such a serious blow to any type of playoff noise whatsoever. And the offense will be fine when A.J. Brown's back. They're going to outscore a lot of teams. That's why I still think they're probably a 10-win team or so. But they might have a bottom, 4 or 5 D-line in the entire league, and it's just unplayable.
I find that hard to believe.
So do I. Like, there was questions going in, like, oh, is this going to be like a strength of the team like it normally is, or is it going to be, just like a pretty good pass rush? And it's abysmal. And there's not really a way to make it better. Even if they pulled something out of their ass and got Hassan Reddick back or whatever, I don't see it. The rest of the defense I think the secondary is actually a lot better. I think they're playing about as well as you can when people are just standing back there for 4 seconds, but they're screwed. Offense looked fine. I don't know what happened to Jalen Hurts, man. He had actually had a good game, but we had a chance to still win that game at the end, and he just threw one of the dumbest interceptions you'll ever see. And he just I don't know what happened to him, man. And it really sucked. And honestly, it was a good thing that it kind of happened early in the season where my expectations are now tempered, so I don't have to, be on the edge of my seat every game. But it does suck. I had pretty high expectations for this year, and week 2, I'm already like, damn, like this isn't a good football team. Like they're a good football team. They're not a great football team. So
no, and pass rush is like you said, definitely an issue. Yeah. Who was it that got demoted for the game? Was it Jalen Carter?
For a quarter, yeah.
For a quarter, okay.
Not good. I mean, he had the character concerns coming out, and he's obviously talented, but apparently he was late to a meeting or something. But I find it hard to believe that happened once. I believe they're like, dude, if you're late again, we're fucking suspending you for a quarter, and he was late again. I mean, I don't know that or anything, but like, I doubt he was 30 minutes late and was like, I was in traffic, my bad, and they sat him down. I mean, that was a game we had to win. They didn't want to do that. So that's concerning. Jordan Davis sucks. Linebackers are status quo. I actually think, we got a decent pair of safeties now. Quinion looks good. All that stuff's cool. But, yeah, man, I think, a lot of these Georgia boys didn't end up working out, which really sucks and is honestly surprising. I get, it's the NFL. You're going to miss on a lot of draft picks, but the fact that, like, it seems like none of them outside of Jalen Carter are even decent players. It's just really surprising to me. But, yeah, that sucks. I think Atlanta does have a good defense. I don't think their offense is good still. That they didn't prove anything to me that evening. I think we had a chance to honestly blow them out if we just make a couple more plays. Like, not even kidding. I know that sounds dumb because we lost, but yeah, really disappointing. It was one of those things where, like, when your team wakes up and you get to listen to all the podcasts and they're talking about your team.
You were on it from the get-go. You didn't feel good about the game, and I scoffed at you. I said, no way, they got this.
And I listen to an Eagles podcast every day, and he just brought it up, and he was just like, listen, man, like, we have enough sample size now. Like, obviously, this is a new year from last year, but like, we got a big enough sample size. Like, this is just kind of who they are. Like, they're a talented team that makes a lot of mistakes. Nick Sirianni might be a clown. I defended him for a while, but listen, man, like, if you're not gonna, call plays on either side of the ball, like, I need you to be fucking Bill Belichick in those situations that we were in at the end of the game. And I think you can put a very large amount of that blame on Nick Sirianni. I mean, I think you can make an argument it's 100% on him. So
he made some very questionable decisions.
Yeah, I mean,
the decision to go for it on 4th down
in the beginning,
on the second drive of the game, first quarter.
I get it. That could have been the difference in the game and everything. I didn't hate that as much, but you're totally right. But like, I don't even want to get into all the minutiae of the game.
4th and 1, I wouldn't mind, but it was 4th and medium. Like,
yeah, I just,
there's no need to take that kind of a risk at that.
I don't know, man. I think he's trying to play like, players play hero ball. He's trying to like hero coach almost, because he knows, dude. Like, I don't know, man. This Bill Belichick thing is seeming kind of weird. Not even that I would definitely want him. I wouldn't be mad if we got him, but he's in the building on Monday night. He's, talking to Howie, all this shit. Like, if he could come back and not have to play GM, because he's clearly not that good at it, and just really focus on the team, like, I think that could be cool. But I don't know. I don't even really want to talk about them, because they're really disappointing. And I don't really think that game proved a lot for either team, outside of the fact that it solidified that the Eagles don't have a pass rush, which is bad.
I thought you saw all the concerns that not just me, a lot of people had with Philadelphia in that game, between Sirianni's ability to coach, to leadership, as we just talked about with Jalen Carter, all those concerns. I think you saw that in that game. I think they're going to be fine. I don't think Sirianni is a village idiot.
Not me neither. Me neither. Yeah. But like I said, man, like, Lurie and Roseman sit up in that box and watch those games together, man. And I'm telling you right now, if 2022, it just kind of seemed like every decision that he made, every 4th down that he chose to go for, it was just a good decision after good. And now all of a sudden, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. It really sucks that both of my teams this early. It'd be one thing if it was like Thanksgiving and I'm like, damn, my team isn't as good as I thought they were. Like, dude, it's September and I'm like, both of my teams might suck. Like, they both might suck. So that's a little maybe a reason for my.
I think one of our teams, and it's our team, does suck. The other one, I think, is a good team.
Whatever.
So I guess I will touch up on my Packers a little bit. I mean,
impressive win, dude, by the way.
Did what I have wanted from Matt LaFleur since he got to Green Bay, and he's done an okay job at it at times of running the ball. But this was another level. I got the stats pulled up here. 53 rushing attempts for 261 yards. Like, that is exactly what I want. Like, I would run the ball 50 times a game if it was socially acceptable.
And you see all this discourse about defense and shit, and everyone's just like, dude, then run the ball. Like, what are we talking about? Run the ball then. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, what Mel said was correct in the sense.
I didn't listen to what he said.
What he said, he was just like, basically like, yeah, dude, like, we're not seeing any offense right now because they're just playing fucking shells and making everybody do this dink and dunk stuff. But it's just like, dude, it's your job to. And then everyone's posting all these like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning videos of them just fucking shredding cover 2 when you could still smoke people, by the way. And it's just like, yeah, dude, like, you guys need to play quarterback better. I don't know. Like, I actually thought, like, yeah, dude, it's never been easier to play quarterback. So we're going to have all these good quarterbacks. But I don't think any of them know how to read a defense anymore. I know that sounds like some like old head, like somebody that's 70 years old would say, but like, I actually don't think they can read defenses at all. I think the offensive coordinator is reading it for them.
Yeah.
They go, listen, look at your first read. Go to your second read. Like, 2 quick reads. And it's like, normally your first read's going to be there. So you just don't even got to think. And it's like, of course, all these guys can throw. They're professional quarterbacks. Like, if you give them an open receiver, you can grab some dickhead like Justin Fields and he's going to put it between the numbers. So, yeah, I don't know. It is disappointing, though, man. I mean, these games are just they look weird. Like, we haven't seen a lot of bombs and stuff, which I like to watch. But
I mean, that's kind of been the case for the last few years. Defenses are saying, you're take what we give you.
Yep.
And offenses have kind of been doing that. And that's why the points are down in recent years. But I don't disagree. I think I wonder if a lot of if we do see really good offense is coming from the coordinator and not necessarily the quarterback.
100%. Well, I mean, even and you also got to think. I mean, how many of the really good quarterbacks right now are like actual veterans? Like I know they're veterans in like the sense
True.
Like, they're not 35 years old and have been playing professional football for 13, 14 years. Where it's like I have seen everything. Like maybe I can't scoot like I used to, but like I know what they're about to run and I know where the zone's going to be that I can throw it to type shit.
That's also a very good point.
I think a lot of it's that, and I think a lot of it is just dude, Colin Cowherd was saying this like 10 years ago. He's like, the offensive linemen aren't as good as they used to be because they're all doing air raid offenses. Like these guys are sitting on their knees and then they just step back and put their hands up and the ball's out in a half a second. It's like none of these guys know how to block anymore or anything. So I think it's just a combination of all that shit, and defensive linemen are just like absolute aliens now, like they've always been, but even more so. Yeah, it's our time though, Shane. On the ball, it's our time.
I'm telling everybody. I don't want to. I hate that baseball got rid of the defensive shift. I mean, they kind of did. They kind of didn't. But
can I comment on that really quick? You know what pisses me the fuck off about that? So it's like, okay, the shift should never be banned because it's just how you play defense.
Yes.
Right. But then, so I didn't actually know this, and I played baseball like my whole life. You're not allowed to bunt against the shit. Not like against the rules, but it's against like the baseball rules.
Oh,
like
fuck off.
That's what I'm like. Kiss my ass. So you get to shift your third baseman to the center of the field, and I can't bunt down the line. So like,
no, fuck that.
That's why I didn't like it. That is literally an unwritten rule in baseball, by the way. So like, that's like
no. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna bunt to where your guy's not there. I don't give a shit.
So obvious, right? Like. Play defense normally. Like,
I really don't like that shit in baseball.
I never did either.
Unwritten rule thing. Just play the game.
Me too. Me too, man. I can't stand it.
So back to my Packers. Just a few other things. I mean, Jeff Hafley showed me a little bit. I was really disappointed with him in week 1 with how the Packers came out defensively. I thought they were much better this week, but still couldn't stop the run. They quit feeding not Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. I have no idea why. Anthony Richardson might not be that good. You know,
I don't think he is right now. I mean, I just think that's obvious. But I'm going to tell you one thing. He's
a lesser Cam Newton. Like once he throws the ball, you really don't know where it's going.
If he doesn't look good under Steichen, though, like he's bad. You know what I mean? Like he made Jalen Hurts, like who might not suck, but like he might be like the 14th best quarterback in the league if he keeps playing like he's playing. And he was like a top 4 or 5 guy for that season under Steichen. So like, it's not looking good if you can't, play decent with, and they actually have a pretty good offense now. The O-line is fantastic.
And other times he got them the ball and the receiver just dropped it. That happened a couple times.
Yeah.
But I do want to shout out Malik Willis, a dude who I was not I liked him coming out of college. He was terrible as a rookie, but he was thrown into the fire way too soon. And you just see, like, this is why the Packers are the Packers and the Titans are the Titans. The Packers were willing. I shouldn't even say be patient with them because they had no choice but to put him out there.
Yeah.
But the Titans weren't willing to be patient with him. If Malik Willis is drafted by the Packers, guess what? He's probably sitting on the bench for a year learning.
Yeah, minimum.
So just wanted to give him a shout out. Thought he played well. He didn't play great.
No, I wanted to comment on that. I mean
it was Matt LaFleur saying, "Hang on,
here's
the game plan.
Yeah,
don't go outside it."
Yep. And which is fine. I mean, Matt LaFleur knew. He was just like, dude, we have one shot at winning this game, and it's just like this. And if we do it effectively, we will win. And if we don't, we won't. Like, we're not going to be multiple out here today. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, he knew it. He did exactly what he needed to do. He completed almost every pass. That's fine.
Yep, totally agree. That's what you need from a backup.
Yep, exactly.
So let's talk about the Thursday night game, Bills-Dolphins. Tua injury aside, I wrote about this on my blog. Tua injury aside, that was a perfect encapsulation of why I don't trust the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They looked soft. Tua showed, before he got hurt, showed his inability really to play the position. And I picked the Dolphins, but I shouldn't. We both said in the middle of that game, we were like, that was so stupid.
That was so fucking stupid.
Yes.
I was so pissed at myself for doing that. Like almost immediately after the game started, I was just like, what did I like about it?
I was saying that within the first drive or two of the game. Because I think the Bills went down and scored. Maybe the Dolphins had the ball first. But I think it was a turnover right off the bat. Let me pull it up here.
Yeah, I mean, it
was an interception on the 6th play of the game. Touchdown, Miami touchdown. I thought, okay, here we go. And then another Miami interception, and then Bills touchdown, Bills field goal, whatever else. So, and I was just like, what the fuck was I doing picking the Dolphins? But that, in my opinion, that was just a perfect encapsulation of that's just who the Dolphins are. They're going to play a good team, and I think Mike McDaniel's a good
coordinator.
Coordinator. I was going to say offensive mind. And the media loves him because he's cool in press conferences. He's wearing the cool sunglasses. People love him because he's out there dancing, or whatever during practice, and wearing the joggers. But I just don't think he's a great head coach.
I was just going to say that. And I actually think he is a fantastic offensive mind. I think he is one of the, everybody's trying to go young. I think he is one of the young guys where it's just like, dude, you're like 5 or 10 years away from being a head coach. Like you are a head coach. You will be that. Like, I'm just sorry, man. Optics don't really mean anything, but just like optically, I'm just like, dude, this isn't a tough football team with Mike McDonald being your coach, man. Like I love that guy. I think he's funny. I think he's smart, all that shit. But like, dude, how can you expect your defense to go out there and fly around when that's your coach? I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm so sorry. Or how can you expect to run the ball very effectively when that's your coach? Like, and maybe that's just like, again, maybe I'm just getting old and I'm saying shit that like my dad would say, but I really do believe.
You are getting old though.
Yeah.
Like, I find myself all the time saying shit my dad would say, and hearing old men talk about football. You got to win with defense. You got to win with clock possession. You got to win with this. And now I'm saying all those things.
When you watch a lot of football, you've realized it's true. That's why.
What do you think? Let's talk about Tua here and his injury. I really can't stand the conversation that he should retire from the game. Like, this isn't your life. I hate when people bring that up.
I totally agree. John Middlecoff called it, and like my biggest pet peeve ever, not to get political, is like virtue signalers and like people who just like can't wait to tell you how just like your health is the most important. It's like, yeah, dude, we all know. Like, you don't have to say it the loudest so that everybody knows that you're so nice and shit. So like, first of all, a lot of that is going on. Should he maybe consider retirement? Sure, but I was listening to Middlecall today. I was listening to Middlecall today. He's like, dude, he's 26 and he has like $100 million more left on the table. He's not quitting. Like he's just not going to do it. And but who can, like you said, it's like, who are you to tell him to retire? Now you might be like, listen, dude, maybe you should consider retirement. It's on the table. Like these add up, dude, and you will pay for it later type shit. But like, I don't know, man. Like it's just it's lame. I think I would keep playing. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean,
I'm playing.
Like you said, $100 million on the table, dude.
Dude, play for 4 more years and quit. You'll be done before you're 30 years old. I'm dead serious.
But I do, honestly, we are a, podcast. We don't like seeing injuries. I really do hate that for Tua. But I really just hate the conversation of, oh, you should retire. Just back out.
You notice it's the same motherfuckers that say all the other shit that you just roll your eyes at. It's the same like 30 people in sports media that I can tell you exactly what they're going to say before they say it. I swear to God. I could write their tweet for them. It's hilarious. So
copy edit that shit.
It's hilarious. Mike Florio.
And then I do want to give a shout out to the Bills. That was one hell of a performance.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen is the second best football player on the planet. I try to tell all my friends, they still try to think I'm like,
there are people out there, James, who think he's overrated.
I'm like, dude, you're not watching the same sport I'm watching. You're just not.
And this is the first time in a while the Bills don't need him to be a hero.
Yeah.
Like, they have James Cook. Yeah, I wish they had better pass catchers, but that's the hand they were dealt this year.
If they win, I'm going to tell you right now, if they are like, if they're 6-1 7-2, something like that. I don't know exactly when the trade deadline is. I could see them trading for a wide receiver to push for a Super Bowl. If I'm trying to think of who, maybe D-Hop, if fucking the Titans suck and they're just like, yeah, I'll take D-Hop on a 1-year flyer and pay him 16 mil or whatever, something like that. But I could see that because I do think ultimately when they play like a really good team, they are going to have a hard time keeping up offensively. But yeah, Josh Allen is unbelievable. I think you can make an argument that this very second on this very date, he's better than Patrick Mahomes. Just because, Patrick's dealing with a lot of shit right now. His left tackle is a second-round rookie. His running back
let's do that. Let's go ahead and shift gears to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because that was the big game of the week, and it was a really good game.
Yep.
Obviously, officiating kind of got in the way. I don't think either were bad penalties. I don't remember the hands to the face, but the defensive pass interference, everyone kind of said, yeah, that's defensive pass interference. You just hate seeing that on the second to last.
You know my arguments with that shit, man.
I know.
But I totally get it. If you sit there at the end of the game and you show the replay and it's clearly that and they threw the flag, it's fine. What I can't stand is when it's like bang, bang like that and they don't throw the flag and everyone's showing you like clip by clip slow-mo. Like, it's like, dude, like you can't throw a flag all the time. Like, I hate when people don't want players to make plays. It makes me so mad. It's like, oh, well, that was PI and he held him a little bit there and that was actually hands to the face. Just like, dude, like,
go out there and cover your, not even a professional athlete, go cover your best friend and tell me you're not going to grab some jerseys.
That's what I'm saying. I get it. I mean, according to the rules, but it's just like sometimes it's so ticky-tack. I'm just like, dude, they were hand fighting and the ball was in the air. You can't just like not throw the flag there. But whatever. And I think at the end of games, nothing in football right now, Shane, nothing grinds my effing gears more than a 3rd and long defensive holding penalty.
Yes,
comes out of my fucking ears. Even when my team benefits, I'm just like, damn, dude, that's kind of bullshit.
Didn't Middlecoff just talk about this recently? Should it really be an automatic first down?
That's what I'm saying. Just make it a 5-yard penalty, and if it's 3rd and 3 and they get it, then fine. But like, why is like a quick jersey snag in a 4-second play an auto first? Like, you just saved the drive. Like, if you save drives like that, you are affecting the outcomes of games. Because if they end up scoring on that drive, they wouldn't have if you didn't do that. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's getting murky with that shit.
And it's called a lot. And, I benefited a lot with Rodgers. He had a good eye for it. And he would, anytime he would throw it in the dirt, he'd, point. And, like, it was almost always defensive holding. And, but even as a Packers fan, I was like, man, should that really be an automatic first down?
And like it's the same thing with
that rule bugs me so much more than, and everyone might disagree with me, the touchback when you fumble into the end zone.
Oh, I love that rule.
I don't mind that rule. Everyone else hates it.
I think it's amazing. I think it's a great rule.
I don't mind it, but I loathe defensive holding, automatic first down.
And another thing that they like, dude, defensive pass interference needs to be a 15-yard penalty. That's why I agree with that. And I'm going to tell you right now, what I was worried about, even though Kirk Cousins marched right down the effing field on us, so it didn't matter anyway. I'm always worried about like, oh, they got to go 70 yards to get a touchdown to win. I'm like, bro, if he throws one fucking 50-yard pass and it's PI, they're there. PI. Like, they don't even have to make a play. And I always am so worried about that. And I'm like, dude, you should not be able to go half the field on a penalty, 1/3 of the field on a penalty. That's just ridiculous to me.
I don't have a problem with it. I get why people do. And if they change the rule tomorrow, I won't be up in arms about it. I get it.
And they won't. They won't, which is fine. I get it. I mean, it's a pro league.
But I kind of like it. I like, hey, don't touch the guy.
And to be fair, they are actually
But I also hate in college when it's a deep ball and the corner is beat or the safety is beat and they just tackle them because it's just 15. That's what they're trying to prevent with that pass interference rule in the NFL, and I hate it. And I kind of have always wished college would adopt the rule. But, again, if they change the rule tomorrow, I'm not going to be that upset.
It's just a little gripe, and I think the NFL is really good at adjusting rules to be a better game. So
this has turned into Kansas City Bengals breakdown to us complaining about officiating.
Yeah, I mean, back to them. I think the Bengals are going to be fine. This is just what they do, unfortunately. I don't think any of the other teams besides Pittsburgh maybe are even that good in that division. And I think Pittsburgh's going to have a hard time beating good teams
I don't see it with Pittsburgh.
with their quarterback. They just have a great defense. I mean, they're going to be in slugfest, but I think they're going to win that division still. They'll probably still win 11 games. So,
I'm not there yet with the Bengals. I'm sure they will be fine, but we saw some serious concerns from them in week 1, and they were a whole lot better in week 2. But my counter to that is they always play the Chiefs tough.
Yeah.
So if it's week 3 and they have another bad performance, even if they win,
good point.
It's going to be a conversation of what the heck's going on. Now, I think I did see that T. Higgins should be back on the field. Maybe I read that wrong. I don't remember. Or I think he returned to practice. Anyway, that was a really good game. Big win for the Chiefs. It's a shame that they are playing the Ravens and Bengals in weeks 1 and 2. That feels like that should be weeks 8 and 12.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it is good to kind of like size up your playoff competition early just to see how far you got to go or whatever. But I totally agree with you from an entertainment standpoint. I wanted to see the quarterbacks hot. You know what I mean? I want to see them in a groove, everybody playing well. Another thing that I want to say, Travis Kelce might be cooked.
It ain't looking good. I think it's like we said this last year with him.
I think it's just a combo of, one, he's just obviously getting up there in age. I think 2, he's just, do you think he was worried about football this offseason? Because I don't. They won 2 Super Bowls in a row, and
he might be distracted
with Taylor Swift. And then lastly, I just think he's just like, yeah, dude, my brother retired. I just kind of want to fucking retire, to be honest with you. So I think, if they win the Super Bowl, I'd put $1 million that he retires. And I think even if they don't, there's a pretty good chance he does.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Kelce, but we said this last year. I thought he was done last year. I
don't mean cooked in like unplayable. I mean cooked in like he's not going to put up 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns this year. I'm going to tell you that much.
We'll see. Only week 2. But again, we said that last year.
Yeah.
Then one more thing I do want to touch up on before I give some quick shout outs. Let's talk Bryce Young getting benched after 2 weeks of this season.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Why is that?
Why?
Because he's terrible.
You're terrible, though. What's
yeah?
There's actually a benefit in being terrible at this point. There's actually a benefit in being terrible at this point, and it's like I get it from Bryce Young's perspective, where it's like we're gonna ruin this kid if we leave him in. But from the Panthers' perspective, it's like who fucking cares? Like you guys need a new quarterback anyway. Like you're gonna know if you play him all season. Like you're probably gonna have the number 1 pick, and you can just pick the next guy. Pick Shedeur or Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers or whoever the hell you want to pick. I thought it was so dumb. I think they're going to put Andy Dalton out there, and they will be more competitive, and they'll probably win 3 games now instead of 1 or 2. And now they probably won't get the number 1 pick. I just don't get it. I don't see the benefit in it. Like I totally get Canales being like, dude, we need to compete. Like that's his job. It's his first year. He needs, but like.
That's very atypical of an offensive-minded head coach. Like a defensive-minded head coach would have that attitude. Like
he didn't draft him though. To be fair,
true.
So it's not.
That's
Oh,
more
this
of a
is
defensive-minded head coach's mentality of we got to get this kid out. He's costing us games. I'm not going to have the patience for him. Offensive-minded head coaches, especially in today's game, are typically more patient and willing to work with the kid. But you're right. He didn't draft him. But look at Canales' track record. I said this to you. He helped Geno Smith in Seattle. He helped Baker Mayfield in Florida, or not Florida, Tampa. It's pretty telling that he's like, I can't work with this. I assume it's him making that call at least, and not David Tepper.
I almost want to take a victory lap on Bryce Young, but it's like it was so obvious that I'm just like, I'm not even going to take a victory lap.
What do you think of these idiots saying? I don't want to call them idiots, but
I can't take too big of a victory lap because I would have took Anthony Richardson over CJ Stroud. So it's not like but I was just like, there's no way. I kept comparing AR and Bryce Young. I was like, there's no way you're looking at these 2 grown men in a room and picking Bryce Young over this guy. There's just no, dude, Bryce Young is my size. We are the same. I'm small, dude. Like I'm small, dude. I'm like 2 inches taller than my girlfriend. Like, it's insane to think that guy could play professional football as a quarterback. Like, you might be slot receiver, kick returner, whatever. Maybe if you run a 4-3. Dude, he's slow. His arm's weak. He's small. He doesn't have any weapons. We don't know if Dave Canales even knows what he's doing. Maybe he does. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't. Ownership is bad. It turns out the division is actually much, much, much better than everyone thought it was going to be. I mean, it looks like there's actually 3 legitimate teams in that division. It's just like, football's so awesome because you can turn your team around in 1 or 2 years. And like, I actually don't think even with, who's a great GM, the best GM ever, that they're even going to be close. They're just so far off, man. And I don't know. I don't get
that they hit the reset button after this year, which is very likely.
They just did. They traded away all their good players.
And let's pretend that they do it again, which I think is likely. And they draft another quarterback. I don't love the quarterbacks in 2025.
No, me neither. And
Carson Beck might be my favorite one, and I don't love him that much.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Shedeur.
I don't love Shedeur either.
Quinn Ewers, who I think
he's too small.
He's going to get hurt, dude. He gets hurt all the time.
He's smaller than JJ McCarthy, and I was concerned about JJ McCarthy's size.
He does have a laser, though. Quinn Ewers has a laser. He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers a lot, honestly, but he is small. You're totally right. He's very small.
You're right. No, I mean, other than his size, he does, I think, have the tools.
No, I totally agree with you, and I wouldn't blame that. Like, let's say they get the and I don't know what the draft looks like outside of some of the quarterbacks. Let's say they get the number 2 pick. Maybe you just ride with Andy Dalton for a year and like or get one of these bridge quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Tackle, take the best defensive end, take the best. Just like, dude, you guys need a blue chipper, and then next year you're gonna fucking suck again. Then next year you can get the Nebraska kid. Isn't there really good quarterbacks coming out?
No, Raiola's not available till he's a true freshman this year.
Right? But whoever, like, there's, it's a better quarterback draft.
We talked about this though. It's gonna be Arch Manning.
Yeah, Arch Manning. There you go. Manning.
We talked about this. Do you really think the Mannings are gonna let him go to Carolina? I'm not so sure.
He has New York Giant written on his fucking forehead, Shane. You know he does.
That would be great.
He does too, and I hate it. Even though I think there's a good chance Shedeur actually goes there. I think
the Giants are in the same predicament that the Panthers are in.
I disagree. They have good players. Hold on. Their roster sucks, but they have some good players.
Yeah, for sure. I just meant they're going to suck this year. Looks that way, at least. Do you go one more year with Daniel Jones?
He's out.
Well, then you need a quarterback.
I think there's a chance they're picking number 3 overall. You know what I mean? Like I think they're gonna take Shedeur.
Well, then that eliminates unless you end up with the number 1 overall pick, the need to get Arch Manning.
Yeah.
They could pull Arizona with Josh Rosen.
Dude, people are gonna go. I wonder who is gonna get Arch Manning. Like, let's try to look ahead real quick. Who I'm gonna tell it's gonna be.
So let's look at I'm gonna look at the standings here. It could be the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm going to rule out the Dolphins and Patriots. Steelers are likely going to have to trade out for him. Browns might have to trade out for him. And then Ravens, Bengals, I think, are out. Texans are out.
I have no idea, dude.
It could be the Jags.
I was just thinking that, but again, he's
Titans. It could be the Titans.
He's not going to any of those teams. Arch Manning is going to be like, hell no, he's not going to the Titans or the Jags. You out of your mind?
Colts. Maybe. Chargers, no. Chiefs, no.
No, all jokes aside, Colts doesn't sound far off.
No. Broncos, probably not. Raiders, possibly. Depends on what they do.
I think should take a flyer on Bryce Young is Sean Payton in the Broncos.
A lot of people have been saying McVay should take
or that. Just something where he doesn't have to be an athlete or have a strong arm. He could just boop, 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 boop over and over again like Brock Purdy. I don't even think he's as good as Brock Purdy, but I think he can play like Brock Purdy.
How funny would it be if Arch Manning ends up in New Orleans? Where he's from, his grandfather played there.
That would be
Peyton
cool.
and Eli and Cooper all grew up there.
Dude, I can't lie.
That would be a real Return of the King situation.
I said he was overrated, and I saw him pull away from those defensive backs during that run, and I said, "Oh shit, maybe he's not."
I don't think he is. I think he's raised right by his family, and they're like, "You're gonna wait this out. You're gonna wait your turn until you become the starter. You're gonna, when you know what I mean."
He was moving, dude. Oh, I loved it. He had five touchdowns in like 30 minutes, dude. It was crazy.
If he goes to Dallas, I'm gonna be sad.
No, I'll stop it. I'll blow my brains out. No, they just decide, dude. They're in with Dak. Whether they
I do want to talk about New Orleans though before we move on. Off to a really fast start. Like, I'm willing to eat my words about them. I didn't think that they would be this good, but I also am like, I don't see them keeping this up.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's not like they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed or anything, but
I don't see that happening.
I think they got a really good shot to win the division, though.
Yeah, and that's what I do want to touch up on is the NFC South. I'm looking around just with our teams, and I think your team's got a great shot at winning the division. My team, not as much, but a decent shot. Only 3 wild card spots, and I look at that NFC South, and the Saints look good. The Falcons look good. The Bucs look good.
The Seahawks look good.
Seahawks look good.
The Cardinals look good.
I did want to give them a shout out. Cardinals did. I'm so far looking good on the Seahawks. I said the Cardinals were going to be feisty again, probably a lot better than people think. It's a long season, but we said NFC was going to be a lot better, and so far it has been.
It clearly is.
So let's get into picks because you didn't want to go for an hour, and we're approaching that.
You're good. No, I said an hour and a half.
Well, we weren't going to reach that anyway. Unless there was something else you wanted to touch up on. We kind of hit it all.
I'm trying to think if there was anything last week that was really cool that we missed. Was there any game that – by the way, like I don't know if, I live in Baltimore, obviously. You know that. I'm sorry, dude. You know all like the crazy losses Baltimore's had over like the last few years, like these fourth quarter collapse losses. They've literally had like 5 in the last 3 years.
I'm no stranger to fourth quarter collapses.
Watching just the vibe of the city, because like I'm always out on Sundays watching the
game.
So
what is the vibe there in Baltimore?
Well, I mean, dude, it's nuts on game day. It's like being in Morgantown for game day. It's like everyone's fucked up wearing their purple or whatever, but it's just like these like back-breaking, last-second crushing losses, and just watching literally like 50,000 people just walk into their car. Just so pissed. It's just one of the funniest things ever. Football Sundays are so fun here. I love them.
I mean, Vegas. My impression with Vegas is that's why I kind of had a hard time seeing them being one of these bottom feeders that we're going to be picking in the top 5, because the top of their roster is that talented. And I didn't think in hell that they were going to beat Baltimore on the road. Especially with Baltimore coming off extra time to prepare. And here they are beating them, outscoring them 13-7 in the fourth quarter to win the game.
Yep.
Might be a little bit better than what I think, than what I thought in the preseason.
I think they're right around where we thought. We had them, like 7-win team, 8-win team?
I had them at 5, I think. But I'm a sicko who does the 272 wins. And so I was like, well, someone's got to lose games. So I picked, the Raiders were just one of those teams.
Fair.
But the top of the roster is just so good. They play hard for Antonio Pierce. Probably going to be feisty, like you said, probably in that 7-win range. That feels about right with them. And then as for Baltimore, they have some real issues on their offensive line. Mm-hmm. I think they'll figure it out. I trust John Harbaugh, but they got to get that run. They got to get that offensive line figured out. Yep. That's a real problem.
I agree.
So let's, like I said, get into picks.
Do it.
Week 3 NFL, Thursday night. Game's going to start here in about 15 minutes. Patriots at Jets. The line right now.
-6, I think.
Is it down to 6? I was looking at FanDuel.
I just bet it.
So I assume you took Patriots +6?
I did.
All right, so FanDuel has it at -6.5.
Oh, I would love that. But I do think the Jets are going to win outright, though.
Okay, so you're taking the Jets to win outright.
Yeah, I think
I don't feel good about this at all.
Pats have a very good chance to win this game, though. Very good.
The more I thought about this game, I originally was like, man, that's going to be an interesting game. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, man, defensively against the Jets offense, I think the Patriots match up very well. They're really good against the run. They can slow down Breece Hall. Christian Gonzalez can eliminate Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
And then who's left to catch the ball from Aaron Rodgers? That's a real problem. And on the other side, the Jets haven't been great against the run. Patriots could just lean on Ramondre Stevenson all game long.
That's what they're going to have to do.
This is a favorable matchup for the Pats. If it was at home, I would be more confident in picking the Patriots, but I'm still going to take Patriots here. I think they're just catching the Jets at the right time.
Wow. I like that. Vegas tells you, though, and listen, Vegas got cooked last week with underdog, so I get it, but
I do want to touch up on that. So last week was not a good week for us in the NFL.
It wasn't a good week for anyone, by the way.
No. I finished 7-9, which really isn't terrible, like 8-8. If you're at the mean, that's not great, but it's not terrible. You finished 6-6. I added to my lead this year. I am now up 4 for the season through 2 weeks. You have narrowed it, or I have narrowed down your lead to +3. So you are +3 all time against me. But like I said earlier this week, I think you were +16 at the end of the 2021 season, and I've gained a lot of ground since then.
I lost my fastball. This is crazy.
So anyway, I wanted to touch up on that.
What happened to me? So
you have the Jets, and then let me pull it up on my blog. Okay, Sunday. Giants at Browns. Right now, it is Browns -6.5.
Browns. Easy.
Yeah, I don't trust the Giants at all right now. Bears at Colts. Right now, it is Colts -1.5.
That's a good game. Shit. Bears are a little banged up. Who are you taking?
I'm going Colts. Can't afford to fall to 0-3. I think they're going to be desperate.
I'll go Bears.
All right. So that's 2 differences so far.
God damn it. I really didn't want to do that, but maybe AR has another bad game. I don't know.
Texans at Vikings right now. It is, Texans -2.5.
I'm going to go Texans, but damn, I like that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a very entertaining game. I'm going Texans as well. I'm going to keep waiting for the Vikings to come back down to earth.
Yep. I mean, and it will happen, but they do look good.
That they do. Eagles, your game. Eagles at Saints. The line of this game has shifted. It was, I think, Eagles -2.5, like on Monday. It is now Saints -2.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to go Saints right now, just based on what's going on currently.
I'm also going to take the Saints.
So, yeah.
They look really good, man. I think they're just hot.
The Eagles won. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles won, but I definitely can't pick it.
Chargers at Steelers. If you want old school football, this is the matchup for you. Steelers -1.5 right now.
I think the only difference in this game is Justin Herbert. So I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm also going Chargers. Like you said, both of these teams want to run the ball. Their defenses are going to be keying on that. It's probably going to come down to which quarterback is better in this game. I'm going to lean on Justin Herbert.
That was my exact thought process.
Broncos at Bucks. Right now, it's Bucks -6.5.
I'll go Bucks there. Broncos don't look very good.
I'm also going Bucks. This just feels like a rough start for the Broncos with a rookie quarterback. Just
hot down there
draw to start the season.
People forget September. It's still hot and humid as hell down there. It's just tough end of games. Defenses are gassed.
All right, my game. Packers at Titans. Right now, line has gone back to the Tennessee.
Didn't you guys
Titans -2.5? What's that?
Didn't you guys just play the Titans?
No, we played the Colts.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad.
AFC South team.
God, no offense, Shane. This game fucking sucks, dude. Who's the home team?
Tennessee.
God,
I didn't love it. This was one of my coin flip.
Who are you going with? Are you going to go Packers?
I am. And, you can't call me biased. I've picked against the Packers so far twice this year. I just think this is a good matchup for them. In terms of the trenches, between Green Bay's offensive line and Tennessee's defensive line, who do you think's better? It's probably a draw. I would lean Green Bay's offensive line. Between Tennessee's offensive line and Green Bay's defensive front, which is better, it's clearly Green Bay's defensive front. Then you come down to coaching. Green Bay clearly has the advantage there. Then it's quarterback. And who do you trust right now? Malik Willis, potentially Jordan Love, or Will Levis?
I trust Jordan Love, but I don't trust either of the other two.
I don't either. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, though.
I'll go Green Bay too. I mean, this is just such a coin flip game. I think they're going to want to play the same way, and
I don't love this game. I don't trust Will Levis, man. He's got 5 turnovers in 2 games.
Yeah.
Green Bay's defense has been very opportunistic. I think they forced 6 turnovers in 2 games.
Pretty good.
Yeah, if they can keep it up, that'd be great. Panthers at Raiders. Right now, it is Raiders minus 5.5.
The Raiders.
I like the Raiders as well, but I do think the Panthers keep it within that
Stop
spread.
it. They don't have a shot.
Dolphins at Seahawks. Seahawks right now are minus 4.5. No Tua. Got put on IR.
Hawks big.
Yeah. I'm going Seahawks as well.
I might bet that.
Tua. Lions at Cardinals. Right now, it is Lions minus 3.
It's a tough game for the Lions.
It is tough.
I think the Lions are in the same exact spot, besides the fact that they don't suck as the Eagles. Like, they got to win this game. I'll go Lions. I think they have a bounce back game.
I took the Lions too. Dan Campbell was not happy after that game on Sunday. Jared Goff threw the ball 55 times on Sunday. I think they're going to get back to their roots and run the ball, and I don't know if Arizona is going to be able to slow them down. Niners at Rams. Right now, it's Niners minus 6.5.
Injury bowl. I mean, I'll go Niners just because.
I'm going Niners too.
But, God, everyone's hurt on those two teams.
Everyone's hurt, but I think the Rams have more significant injuries. And Shanahan has McVay's number. He's won 9 of the last 11 meetings against McVay. Chiefs at Falcons. Right now, it's Chiefs minus 3. The line has gone down from 3.5.
Definitely Chiefs.
I came closer than I thought I would to picking the Falcons.
Falcons aren't good, dude. Eagles made Kirk Cousins.
Chiefs haven't looked great.
True. Very fair.
Falling into some bad habits, turning the ball a lot. I don't love it. But I am going Chiefs. Jags at Bills. Right now it's Bills minus 4.5.
I'll go Bills. It's a good game, though.
I think Bills win. They're going to get, I think, the Jaguars' best shot. Can't afford to fall to 0-3. All right. Commanders at Bengals. Right now it's Bengals minus 7.5.
Bengals got to turn it up at some point. So.
Yep. I will also take the Bengals. Just good defense against a rookie quarterback. And they looked better last week. All right. Game of the week, Ravens at Cowboys. I didn't love picking this game. Right now it's Ravens minus 1.5.
Ravens are going to do them then. I don't think they match up well against the Ravens.
I don't either. And as I've said numerous times already, the Ravens are desperate. They can't afford to fall to 0-3.
Yeah.
All right, so let's head to college. Let me pull those up here. 12 matchups. All right. Friday night. Number 24, Illinois at number 22, Nebraska. That line is currently Nebraska minus 7.5.
Nebraska Huskers.
I will also take Nebraska. They look good, man. Matt Rule's got them rolling right now. NC State at Clemson. Right now, it's Clemson minus 18.5. Line was minus 20.5.
Yeah, I'll go with Clemson.
I'm going Clemson as well. I believe NC State's going to be without Grayson McCall, their starting quarterback, and starting a true freshman against Clemson just doesn't feel like a recipe for success.
I agree.
Number 11, USC. At number 18, Michigan. The line right now is, where is that line?
Go on USC. I'll just tell you right now.
It was
Michigan.
5.5. There it is. Yeah, 5.5. I'm also going USC. Michigan just doesn't look good. I don't know how they're ranked 18th.
Yeah, I agree.
Georgia Tech at number 19, Louisville.
What? By the way,
underrated game. Louisville right now is minus 10.5.
Why can't we be Louisville? Why can't West Virginia be Louisville?
I don't know.
We're the same caliber. Louisville is good at every sport. They're good at every fucking sport
except basketball.
What? They used to be.
They did.
They won that. They won a national championship in the last 10 years.
They have a great basketball history. I just mean in the short term.
Why can that not be our school? They're in Kentucky. It's the same type of it's bullshit.
Papa John's money.
But sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Georgia Tech at Louisville. Louisville's minus 10.5 right now.
Louisville. Fuck them, man.
I think Louisville's pretty good. They have a real coach, as I was saying, in Jeff Brom. Arkansas at Auburn. Right now, it's Auburn minus 2.5.
Kind of like Arkansas there.
I did too for a minute there.
I'll go Arkansas.
I took Auburn though.
I'll go Arkansas. I don't like taking the away team there, but I'm going to do it.
I came close to it, but I think Auburn is talented. I think they lost to a Cal team in week 2 that's better than people think. And my sister-in-law is an Auburn alum, and she might kill me if I don't pick Auburn. Don't get me started on that. That's the dumbest saying ever. Sorry, Joel, if you're listening. Rutgers at Virginia Tech. Last I saw, it was Virginia Tech minus 3.5.
I think that'll be semi-close as well, but I'll go.
That'll be close. So I'll break this down. I'm going Rutgers. Rutgers has a really good rushing attack. Virginia Tech right now is the worst run defense in the ACC.
Well, okay.
So I'm going with Rutgers. I think they're actually pretty good. They're also coming off a bye.
You want to get all scientific? I'm just kidding.
That's really what it comes down to in these September games. Which team runs the ball better?
I love.
You don't really form your identity and your team until.
I love this run the ball crusade that you've been on the last 6 months. It's fucking awesome.
Run the fucking ball, man. It's not that hard. Run the goddamn ball.
It is. It is though. These coaches.
It's a recipe for success. Just be patient with it. Be patient with it. If you're patient with it, good things will come.
I agree. I love running.
So who are you going with?
I'm sorry. I thought I picked.
Did you? Rutgers at Virginia Tech.
I'll take Virginia Tech.
Okay. Okay, that's our first difference for college.
No, we had one in the beginning, didn't we?
No, I took Nebraska, Clemson, USC, Louisville. No, Arkansas. I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
UCLA at number 16, LSU. This is a big line. It's LSU, I think, minus 24.5.
LSU.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup. UCLA off to a rough start with a new head coach. Going into Death Valley, no chance. Vanderbilt at number 7, Missouri right now. That's a big line right now. I was kind of surprised. It's Missouri minus 20.5.
Missouri.
Yeah, I thought Vanderbilt was legit after they beat Virginia Tech in week 1. and they lost to Georgia State last week, so it must not be that good. All right. Now we get to a good game here. Number 6, Tennessee at number 15, Oklahoma.
This is a good game.
Right now, that line is Tennessee minus 7.5.
I kind of
on the road.
I kind of like Oklahoma there, but I will go Tennessee. I just think their quarterback's too good. I don't think they're going to go.
Nico looks legit. That's another one we didn't mention.
Yep.
We mentioned Raiola, Arch, Nico's next. I don't know how good Oklahoma is. They've had 2 struggle wins against Houston and who was it last week? I believe Tulane. Just don't know what they are. So Tennessee, I've been more impressed with. Michigan State at Boston College. An underrated Boston College, in my opinion.
Yeah, clearly.
Boston College right now is minus 6.5.
I'll go BC. They look good.
I'll take Boston College as well. I think what's his name? Bill O'Brien has that program in a good spot in just year 1. Year fucking 1, he's got Boston College in a good spot. Neil Brown in year 6 doesn't have West Virginia in a good spot.
It's Boston College. It's not like they're like
their coach abandoned them and came to the NFL.
I know, man. I'm so upset.
I'm so sick of that shit. Immediately. You might not get the results, but immediately if you got the right coach.
Yep.
And we're still dancing. Well, Neil had some bad breaks in years.
Trust the climb. When are we going to be done fucking climbing, Shane? I want to reach the top.
Dude, I went on a rant. We're going back to Neil Brown, goddammit. I had a rant with my friends. I didn't send it to you. I said, this team reeks of a team that read its own press clippings all offseason. Brown gets comfortable after his best season yet. He pulls the, see, I figured it out line. His narrative is, we hit the reset button after such a disappointing 2022 season. Like he said on McAfee's show before the Penn State game, he did say that. Blah, blah, blah. He's a marketing guy. That was the way he marketed it. And I ended it with, I'm so done with his bullshit jargon marketing campaigns.
That's what it is.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's all steak, no sizzle. Actually, he don't even have a steak. It's ground beef. Or chuck. I don't know.
Whatever a bad cut is.
Anyway. All right. Number 13, Kansas State at BYU. I think this is a sneaky good game.
I agree.
Kansas State is minus 6.5 right now. I flirted with the upset.
Yeah, BYU is a tough place to play, but Kansas State looks good. I'll go them.
I don't trust their quarterback. BYU's run defense is really good. Kansas State likes to run the ball. If Avery Johnson's forced to throw, it could get ugly for them. But I think Chris Kleiman's the better coach, and I'm going to put my trust in K-State. All right, game of the week. Number 12, Utah at number 14, Oklahoma State, back-to-back weeks where the game of the week is in the Big 12. The national media won't tell you that. Oklahoma State right now is minus 2.5. I believe Cam Rising is supposed to play, though.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure they said he's supposed to play, but he clearly probably won't be 100%. I'll go Okie State here.
Ooh, okay. I'm going Utah.
I don't like it, but
I'm going Utah. Oklahoma State hasn't been able to run the ball very well with Ollie Gordon, which was their strength last year. Utah always has a good defense with Kyle Whittingham. Cam Rising's back. Should really be a boost to their offense. So I'll go with Utah. I don't trust Oklahoma State's quarterback to outperform Cam Rising.
That's fair.
All right. So those are our picks. Anything else we need to touch up on?
No, it's time to watch some football.
Yeah, it is. Oh, shoot. It is time. Okay. Let's end it there. We're at an hour.
All right,
man. Good to talk to you.
I'll text you soon.
Yep.
Later.
Later.